Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from the from the IT Visualizer channel. Today we will continue our lab, the Transformers. This is the 14th lab. The previous lab we have already prepared we have make a virtual machine and install on it Windows 10 and make all the tweaks for preparing this to be a master image. Okay. And we already clone it, so we have two virtual machines ready and standby to join the domain. And as I said before, we did all the tweaks we need, installing the application we need and the tweaks in the Windows itself. If you need to know more info or to know how this is done, please return or refer to my previous lab. Today we will join the first virtual machine to the domain, and then we will begin applying the Active Directory Right Management Encryption template and the access denied assistant group policy and the DAC rule. We have already created a new dynamic access control rule to limit access to a certain share folder based on or the criteria of accessing is through the title. I mean that if, for example, the assistant in the IT department will only have access to this file. If, for example, a coordinator needs to access this share folder, it will not be allowed for him because his title in the Active Directory user setting, the title is not IT assistant. We will see how this is in effect now running live the virtual machine. And as I said before, all of this Active Directory templates and DAC rules and group policy of the access denied assistant, I have done this also in the previous lab. So please return to the two previous lab, the one this lab, the before video and the after before, I mean the 13th video and the 12th video. So let's begin. We will power on the virtual machine. So we'll log in with them. We will now try to join this virtual machine or this workstation to the domain. So here just I am making sure that the Active Directory Right Management service is running, and so when we try to test the encryption template, you will see it. I think the services are running, and actually we need to do something to allow this virtual machine to take an IP address. We need to allow it through the DHCP in the filter, enable filter. We need to add the MAC address and the name of the workstation in the DHCP setting, DHCP server setting, to make it able or to allow it to take an IP from the DHCP server. So we'll see that now, but first we need to make sure that the Active Directory Right Management service is running. It runs through an internal database. It depends on an internal database. It's running, and we'll see also the Windows server. Okay, it's running. All of this because when I when I opened or started the domain controllers, these services take some time until it starts. So I'm just making sure it is running, so we'll have no problems when joining the virtual machine to the domain. As I said before, we will add the virtual machine MAC address to the enable filters. We need to the allow filter, sorry. This allow basically that we are allowing this MAC address to take an IP address from the DHCP server. We enabled both. Now we'll make a new entry. We will go and see the MAC address of this virtual machine. It is done through the workstation and then setting. This is the setting in the VMware Workstation Pro. We will go to the network adapter and then advanced, and then we will take this MAC address and copy it, and then we will put it in the allow section. So we are telling the DHCP server to allow this MAC address to take an IP address from the server. This is a security standard or a security recommendation. So we don't allow any foreign or any unknown MAC address to take IP address from our DHCP server. This is critical because we don't need someone to plug in his laptop in our production environment and take our IP address and begin accessing or to have an access to our network or our production network. So this is a best practice. A best practice setting or best practice, let's say best practice practice step to do. For example, so now it took an IP address after allowing the MAC address. So here we'll right click properties, change. Actually there is a way to bypass the enable filter. There is some tools called MAC spooling, or MAC spooling. It takes simply the MAC address of a certain machine and then put it on the MAC address or put it on a PC. So it's deceiving the DHCP server as it is this machine. We have changed the name of first. Before joining a domain, we need to change the name of the workstation. Okay. So it will be the same as the one in the computers OU. As I said before, we have created in my first videos, we have created computer objects in the domain in the comp.ou. This machine is in this container, so we are naming it as the same name as in the container. So it will join the domain and goes to this OU directly. We will see that now. So here this is the IP address and the name of the machine have changed. So now we can join the domain after changing the name of the workstation. Take a note that we have two users, the administrator, which is enabled by default, and the master, which is the second administrator. These are two local administrators. Take a hint that we have two local administrators. One is master and one is administrator. So now right click and properties. Then we will make change setting. Click on change setting and then change. Click on change and then domain, and then we will put the name of the domain, transformers.local. Then I need to put my admin at the Active Directory admin credentials. This should have rights to allow this PC to join the domain. Actually, Karim Rauf or KRAOF is in the group of domain admins, so he have the full rights, and also in the enterprise admins group and in the schema admins group. So we have full rights to do it. Now we have joined the domain, we need to restart the PC. So take care now, after restarting we will see something. I have to clarify this, but just here is we have joined the domain. Here we will see the welcome screen in effect, and here we will put the name of my domain admin account. We will see something here. It tells you sign in locally to HP 100. It changed it from signing to the domain to signing to the local PC. Why is that? As I said before, we have two local administrators, the master and the administrator. Okay, in my default domain policy I have something, I have a setting done that after joining the domain it will rename the administrator account to be Krauf and to disable it. Okay, sorry, so that's it. I am saying that in my default domain policy there is a setting that after joining the domain it will rename the administrator account to Krauf and disable it. So here when I type my, because actually my local administrator user is the same as my admin domain admin administrator user. I have the same shape or the same letters. Okay, so when I type it here on the machine it says that you are going locally. So I need to put transforms slash Krauf, so to tell him that this is my domain admin account, not the local administrator account. But as we see, the best practice is after joining the domain you need to disable the administrator, the local default administrator, or the local administrator built-in user. You need to rename it to another name, not administrator, for example, make it any name, and to disable it and to put a password on it. Okay, and to change this password regularly or on your workstations in the domain. We will see later that also this is a headache, because every time you need to log into a machine, if you have, for example, a large numbers of workstations, so this will be a headache. We will see in future lab that there is a tool called Microsoft Local Administrator Password Service. This is a tool that Microsoft has created. So sorry, it is created by Microsoft to be able to change the local administrator user passwords of all the workstations from a central location. Okay, through a utility called Labs. This utility have a graphical interface and a PowerShell interface. You can from it change the passwords of all the local administrator user passwords of all of the workstations, and to also define through the group policy to be changed every interval of time. For example, if I have my local administrator password here on this machine to be administrator, okay, I will first of all rename it to another account and then disable it and then put a password. The Labs utility will will through a group policy will say that this local administrator password will expire after, for example, 90 days, for example, and the criteria of the password, for example, will be 8 characters or so, less or more, and we need to change this password, as I said before, through some interval of time. So through the Labs tool you will change the passwords of all the local administrator user accounts in all of the workstations, and you will make an password expire policy. Okay, So it's mainly like any user in the domain. It will have the local administrator password will have an expired date, and it will have and the password will be changed regularly after 30 days, or sorry, it will be changed regularly after the password expires automatically through the Microsoft Labs tool. We will see that in the lab, but just to make to say that the best practice is to change the local administrator user account in the workstation, change it, rename it to another user, another name, and disable it. So here I'll put transformers. Here we can see that the group policy, the login script is implemented. We see the name of the PC is changed to the name, the network name, or the Active Directory network name. And we have the shares, department shares appearing, my local, sorry, my personal share and the department shares, the IT share and the global share. Okay, we will test now the Active Directory right management service encryption template. We can see now this all. First we have to take a note. In previous lab we have already said that the default programs when making the master image for the workstation, the default programs will be different from each user to each user. For example, if now I join the domain and with my username, the default program association is different from the one that for the master, for example, that I took the image from. This is different, and we said that to fix this we will make a group policy to make the default programs to be unified on all users. For more info, please refer to my previous video to see how this is done. This is, I think, my 12th video or the 11th video. Let's refer to it to see what I mean. So now we see that the start menu is the same. We have what we did in the master image. The menu is the same. Default programs, as we see now, we have a group policy, as I said before, to, for example, to make the VLC the default program for all of the users in the domain. And we have done this in a previous lab. So when we open the default programs, and we will see that the VLC is the default for all the media, and in the group policy I have set the Chrome to be also the default browser. So we can see now this is implemented. Here is the VLC, it's the default one. This is done through the group policy, and here is the Chrome. So the group policy is in effect. So if we need to unify the programs that used by all, if you have different programs and you need to specify to the user some programs to use, for example, for the browser you need to use the Chrome, for the media player he needs to use for the media he needs to use the VLC. This is done to the group policy, and I have already done it, and it's implemented as we see. And I have done this in the previous video. Please refer to my previous videos to see. It is through XML file. So now we'll make a restart. We see here that the timing is not correct. So we need to restart the workstation again to complete the login script, because the login script it is not implemented fully. So we need to to restart the machine again to apply all of the login script steps. So we will see now, after login to the second time, we will see that the multiple keyboard will be there, the English and the Arabic, and then the time zone will be changed to Cairo. All of this is done through the login script, in addition to the name of the PC, or to this PC to appear on the desktop, and the performance setting, and a lot of things I have discussed it before in my previous videos in this the Transformers Lab. Please, for more for following up or catching up for what I am saying, please refer to my for the lab as a whole. Begin it from the start, from video 1 until this video, so you can follow up what I am doing. I'm just giving a brief. I will not be able to say everything I did in the previous lab, so please refer to my previous videos. Okay, so now here we see that the English and Arabic layout, it is there, and the time zone is Egypt time zone, Cairo time zone. Here we'll see now that, as I said before, there was two local administrator users, the administrator and the master. These are two local administrator users. Administrator is a built-in administrator account. You will see now that it is changed. This is also done through the group policy. You can make a group policy to change the default local administrator built-in account, to rename it to anything else instead of administrator, and to disable it. We will see that here from the local users groups users. We will see now that the care of, it's not care of, it was before administrator, and this is the built-in account for administrating. Okay, for administrating the account, for local administrator, and this is the second local administrator account. Here he named it from administrator to care of and disable it. This is done through also group policy. This I will show you later. Okay, sorry, I need to pause the video for a moment. Sorry, we'll continue our lab. As I said before, this is the administrator, local administrator account. It's named administrator. Okay, this is the built-in local administrator account. It is renamed to care of, and it is disabled. Okay, after joining the domain. So how we can do this through the group policy? Here is the setting. We go to the security options. Okay, under security setting, security options, under computer configuration, account administrator account status, it is disabled. To disable the administrator account and rename administrator account, from here you can put the user name, or to put the different name different than the administrator, to rename it to, for example, care of whatsoever username you need to change it to. This is done through this group policy. It's also done through the default domain policy. Okay, so we will complete, and the master is still enabled. and we will check its member administrator. Okay, apply and okay. So you will begin testing the Active Directory right management encryption template we done in the previous video. Actually, we'll test the encryption template, and we will make a new document and try to make a protection on it through the Active Directory right management service. So here, as I said before, no, we will test the encryption template. I said if we have the word confidential in the document, when the Active Directory Right Management Service sees this word, it encrypts the document automatically. With the template, with the user care of, through the user care of, it will encrypt this Word document, and no one be able to access it except of this user. We have done this in the previous video. As soon as the Active Directory Net Management Service sees transforms confidential word in any document, it encrypts the document through the Active Directory Net Management Service template associated with the user. The user is who is authorized to encrypt this template, or encrypt this word file, will be care of. We have done this in the previous video. Said before, the Active Directory Net Management Encryption template in conjunction with the file server classification rules. Please refer to my previous video to know how this is done. Here is the rule, okay, high business impact. This is the rule that when it runs, when it sees the transformers confidential word, it encrypts the document. We will run this rule. We will run this rule so the Active Directory Net Management Service recognize that it is an important document and encrypt it with the encryption template we have done before. So let's continue our lab here. As I said before, we are testing the encryption template. As I said, when the Active Directory Net Management Service sees the word transformers confidential, it will encrypt the document. And here we are testing also the dynamic access control. Sorry, here we are still seeing that it is this is dynamic access control rule. As I said before, dynamic access control rule. As I said, I will make a rule that only the IT bot will be able to access the IT files, not the IT drone. Okay, it's something like the assistant or the coordinator. We will only make the assistant be able to access a certain file, but the coordinator will not be able to, even they are in the same department. Okay, this is through the Active Directory title attribute through the Active Directory user setting. Here we need to make see someone in the Active Directory with the title of IT drone, so we can test if this DAC rule will be working or not. For example, as I said before, the title IT bot will be able to access a certain folder, but the IT drone will not be able to. So here the job title is IT bot. Okay, we need to find the user with the title IT drone. Here in the organization, we can see that it's IT bot. We will change it to drone, so we can test our DAC rule. Okay, as I said before, it will be only the folder we will access only with the title, or the user with the title of IT bot, not IT drone. Okay, we'll see that now in a moment. Also see my previous video to see how this DAC rule is created, but here we want to test if the user with the title IT drone will be able to access a certain folder. As I said before, the DAC rule enables only any user in the Active Directory with the title of IT bot will be able to access the folder, not any title, other title. Okay, even as I said before, if they are given complete rights, okay, or in the same department. The IT bots and IT drones are in the same department, but I need to specify a certain title to access a certain folder. Here we have run the classification rule for the encryption. Sorry, I'm working in both in the same time. The encryption template and the DAC rule, we are working both in the same time. Okay, so you have run the encryption rule. So if we go to the file that we have done, the Word file that we have done in a minute, we will see it is encrypted. We will see also that it is marked as or tagged as classified. Sorry, as impact as high. As this is also done in the previous lab. So if it's IT and its impact is high. So here we will log off from this user, from the care of user, and access or work with another user to see if we can access the encrypted document or not, and to see if we can access the file that contains the DAC rule for the title of IT bot. Because Arnold, or the user that I will use now, it's not an IT bot, it's an IT drone. The title is IT drone. Here now he is trying to connect to the computer information net management service. We will see now that there is an error to not be able to access. He will be able to access the Active Directory net management service. He wasn't able to access. Here is an error. He can't access the Active Directory. He can't get to the Active Directory Net Management Service server. He can't access it. So let's refresh our minds. As I said before, for any user in the domain to be able to communicate with the Active Directory Net Management Service server, you need to add the website. As I said before, the Active Directory Net Management Service, it is a website. Okay, it works with HTTPS. Okay, so you need to add this website for the Active Directory Management Service in the trusted zone in the Internet Explorer security page or the security setting. Okay, this was the mistake I did, and this is also done through the group policy or pushed by the group policy, but this was an error from my side. We don't need to add the Active Directory Net Management Service server website to the trusted zone. It need to be added to the intranet zone, not the trusted zone. The intranet zone will give full access to the user to the website, so he can able to uh, get the certification and to be verified by the Active Directory Net Management Service. So we need to change the group policy or to edit the group policy to add the Active Directory Net Management Service website to the local intranet zone, not to the trusted zone. We will see that in a moment. Okay, I've done it through another video. So here we will change the group policy. So as I said before, it was a mistake. We need to add the Active Directory Management Service website to the local intranet zone, not the trusted zone. For more info, please refer to my previous video to see that. So here I'm just checking that the Active Directory Management Service is working. The service itself is working. It's working with, as I said before, it is working with a database. It's a Windows internal database, so you need to make sure that the database is working, because the Active Directory Management Service puts all of its data in this database. So you need to make sure that the Windows internal database is running. So here we will change the default group policy here. Sorry, the default domain policy. As I said before, we will add the Active Directory Management Service website to the local intranet zone, not the trusted zone. In a previous video, we put it in the trusted zone, so this is not correct. We'll go to administrative templates. Before, the zones in the Internet Explorer is done through numbers. Intranet zone local internet zone is given number 1, trusted zone is given number 2, restricted zone is given number 4. I think another one is given number 5, but let's here go to the control panel, security page, and then this is done through the I think it's not done through the computer configuration, it will be done through the user configuration. It's in the user configuration, administrative templates. So here we'll get to the Windows component, Internet Explorer, Internet Control Panel, and then Security page, and then we will site to zone assignment list. We will change here this website from value 2 to value 1. Value 2 is the trusted zone, value 1 is the local intranet zone. So this will be this website will be put in Internet Explorer security setting in the local intranet zone. So this will fix the problem of the user will not be able to communicate with the Active Directory Net Management Service server, because this is very important to enable the protection on the document and to authenticate the user, or to verify that this user have access through this document through the Active Directory Net Management Service. Now we will try to access the document. First of all, you are just checking that the classified document in the security or checking that it is classified. I think I'll bypass this one. Okay. So you are refreshing the group policy now, so the website of the Active Directory Net Management Service will be added to the local intranet zone. Now we can open and test to see if the website is working. We will see that first we can open the tools. We will see now it is added. The website of the Active Directory Net Management Service will be added to the local intranet. We will see that in a moment. Tools, Internet options, Internet options, security, then local intranet sites. It is still not added. We need to restart the whole machine to see if to make the group policy in effect. But actually this is the server. We are trying to see the Internet Explorer options on the server, but the website is not added, but it will be added through the workstation. We will see that now in a moment. So let's continue our lab. Here still the Active Directory Net Management Service isn't added to the Internet Explorer security zone. Here we are just checking the Active Directory user rights. Can you pass this one? Sorry. Now we will open the virtual machine, the workstation, and try to see if the Active Directory Net Management Service will work, and also the DAC rule. You will see that now. So here let's try to access the Word doc. It has the protection on it. Before we weren't able to communicate with the Active Directory Net Management Service website because, as I said before, it wasn't added in the local internet zone in the Internet Explorer setting. We will test that now. We will check the setting and see. So you will check the internet options and then the security zone, local intranet, sites, advanced. You will see that the website for the Active Directory Net Management Service is added to the local intranet zone. So now we will try to access the Word document and see if the error appears again. Trusted zone, it is removed from the trusted zone. So now let's try to access the Word document that gives us an error before. I'm just checking that the Active Directory Net Management Service internal database is working. So now it's working. Now we can access and it is encrypted. by IT data encryption data. So now let's try to see if any other user can access this document. Normally, if any other user try access this document, it will give him an error that he is not allowed. But the reason is a problem. The user, there is another user called Arnold. This user is in the IT department and he is title of IT bot. But the problem that so let's continue our lab. Here, as I said before, the other user that we will log in now is called Arnold. This user is actually in the group of domain admins. So even though that I have encrypted the document with the user of Keraof and he's the only allowed user to decrypt this document, Arnold will still have access to this documentation because he is a domain admins. He is a higher level because the domain admins, he is sorry in the TR underscore IT group, which is a member of the domain admins and the enterprise admins and the schema admins. And even also, if you remember the DAC rule that I did before, that any user with the title of IT bot will be able to access a certain document. So as I said before, this user is in the domain admin, enterprise admins, and schema admins. So he can decrypt the Word document that I did before, and he will also be able to access. Decrypt that, and we are able to access the. According to that rule, he is able to access the file that I give him access to. So here he can decrypt the document, even though, as I said before, the template is done by the user of Kerof, which is the user who can encrypt and decrypt. But as Arnold is a member of TR underscore IT, which is a group member of domain admins and enterprise admins and schema admins, so he can be able to access this document still. We need another user that is not a member of any domain admins or enterprise admins or schema admins. And also this is the document. I give Arnold, if you remember, I give Arnold the title of IT drone, not IT bot, so she shouldn't be able to access this document. But the problem is, as I said before, he's a domain admin and enterprise admin and schema admin, so he will be able to decrypt the Word document of, as we said before, even he is not be able to access it. Sorry, he's a member of the domain admins and the schema admins and enterprise admins, so will be able to decrypt the Word document and to access the folder, even though his title is not an IT bot, he is an IT drone. Okay, this is only group membership issues. So we will try to get a user that is not a member of any domain admin group or enterprise admin group or schema group, a normal one. We will try to see through the engineering group. We will tweak it. For example, I will copy this file and put it in the engineering share department and see if he can access it. Okay, we will make the group IT classified, so this file, the only one that have the title of IT bot will be able to access it. As we can see now here, the title of IT bot. This is the condition. You have to be a member of the TR underscore IT group and to be the title of IT bot. This is only the condition that uh, any user can access this folder. You have to be a member, or this file have to be a member of the TR underscore IT group and to be the title of IT bot, not IT drone. We will get another user which is not from the IT group as a whole, not from TR underscore IT. We will care, for example, take this one. We will change the password. This user is not from the group of TR underscore IT. He is from the engineering group or from the medical group. So theoretically, he will not be able to access the Word document or the file, the same one. We will copy also the Word document and see if he can access it. You log off. I have put a condition that every user will access a certain PC, so I need to get off this condition. We will go to the account, log into following PCs, we will remove it, we'll tell him all computers, so he can access this PC as well. So here if you try to access the Word document, he will give you an error saying that you don't have the authority to access this Word document. Only the one who have encrypted it, as I said before, through the encryption template, which is care of user, will be able to access it. We'll see that now in a moment. This one is the user of the medic group. So here you're trying to access the Active Directory, get access to Active Directory at Management Server, and here we will get a notification saying that you are not allowed to access this document. It is encrypted, as I said before, and only users who can encrypt and access this document is the care of user. Please return to my previous videos to see. It's all related, all of my videos are related, so we need to do not have been granted the right necessary to complete the specification operation. Contact the content owner for additional rights. So here the Active Directory Management Service template is working. Ask me later. Now try to access the file that we have put the DAC rule on. Remember, this is only to be accessed by the IT bot, the IT department, and the title of IT bot. You can see here through the security. You have a read permission only. You don't have any rights to it. Because only the one have to access it to be from the group of IT, TR_IT, and to be of a title of IT bot. So here we don't have any rights to do anything. Okay. So if you double click on it, you see here that if we see the previous lab, we will see that we have already configured the access denied assistant group policy. So here it's in effect. He say that you don't have access to this. He gets the error or access denied to folder, okay, and he said that you are not allowed request assistant. As I said before, you can tell him he will send an email to the administrator and to the owner of the document, asking him or telling him that there's someone not authorized to access this document is accessing it, so you can give him access or to block his access. So now we can see that the access denied assistant group policy is working also. As I said before, the DAC rule that the user should be from the TR_IT group and with the title of IT bot. We will make another DAC rule, I think, now, but I'll make one from the start and try to make it in effect to clarify the issue more and more. Here we'll make a new duck rule. Okay, we will see it. Please follow my. I will know it's self-explanatory. We will make a duck rule, a new duck rule, and implement it now. Here we'll make a new document in the medic group, medic share department, text file, and we will make a new duck rule saying that this document should be accessed only by the title of MediDrone. Okay, you'll see that now in a moment. We need to see another one with the title of Medibot, so we can test it. As I said, we will make a rule so this file only to be accessed from the group of tr_medic and to have the title of MedDrone. If he is from the same group tr_medic and they have title of MedBot, he will not be able to access this file. You will see that now. For example, this user is Medibot. So we'll use this user to test our new duck rule. Here we will make a new access rule. Okay. Here you will name it access medic drone only. Okay, I think this is very simple and very clear. Okay, we will edit and then we'll add a condition that the user should be from the department of medical, okay, to access this share or this folder, okay, or this file, and then you have to be of the title of, okay, to be MediDrone. Okay, so we have a condition, they have to be from the group medical and to be with the title of drone, MediDrone. Okay, so if this condition applies, then he will have full access to the file. Okay, we will add now this, he will get the owners right. We will add here, we will add, first of all, you have to be of the group of medic, t_medic, should be from this group. We'll give it modify, not full control, and then we will add a condition. This user should be from the group of tr_medic. We are repeating the process again. Okay, and he should be with the title of, here we'll put the value MediDrone drone. Okay, so if the condition is applied, he should be from the tr_medic and to be of the title of MediDrone. If any of this condition is not successful or not true, he will not be able to access. So for example, the user is named Claw. He is from the medic group tr_medic, but he is not with the title of MediDrone. He is Medibot. Okay, so we'll see this now. We have made the rule. We will make a policy and attach this rule to it. This is I've done before in other video. Policy. attach this rule to this policy and then push it to the file server resource manager. So we'll push it to the file server role, which is the second domain controller. We'll push this policy so we'll be able to attach it to the file. We'll see that now in a moment. Here this policy, so it appears under the security tab. We will see that we need to add it to the server, and this is pushed by a group policy. We'll see that now. Security setting through the file system, and then central policy. We'll push this policy to the server, file server, manage, and then we'll add this OK and OK, and then we go to the file. First we have to make a group policy update. We make it on both servers. Actually it's only done through the file server only, but I prefer to do it on both servers, both domain controllers. So take note that the user that we will test with is named Clo. Clo is from the tr_medic group. He is from the medical group, but with the title medibot, not medidrone. Okay, we'll go to the file. We need to have the DAC rule applied, or the DAC policy applied. We'll go to the security. I can make a classification. You can make it, for example, the title will be, this is not important, but I am just classifying the file. It for the medidrone, okay, and medical group. This is only classification. And the security, we will edit, okay, and tell him central policy, okay, medic drone, okay. If we can apply permissions, if we can just see here that only the condition to be a member of the tr_medic and to be medidrone as a title. So now we log off from this user. First of all, we can see, can test. As I said, no, we use the user named Clo. Clo, as I said before, he is a member of the medical group, but his title is Medibots, not Medidrone. We'll just use this user to test our DAC rule. Okay, we can verify that this user can access the document. Okay, we'll save. To log off. We also have the rule that he is able to access only a certain computer. So we will go and log into all computers, not this computer only, and we will all computers. So now we can try to access the file. First of all, to make sure that this user is from the medical group, you will see that the medic share appears for him. So he's from the medical group, as the department share of medic appears for him. But as I said before, his title is MediBots, not MediDrone. So he will not be able to access this file, even though he is from the same department. But the title is different, as I said before. So you can see that the medic department share appears for him, so he's a member of the medic group, the same as the other user, but his title is different. He's MediBot, the drone. So here we can see that the access is denied. Okay, he's telling him that he is not authorized to access this folder. As I said before, sys file, even though he is from the same department. If you see the NTFS permission and the share permissions, he is able to access it, but the DAC rule strict it to a certain title, which is the MIDI drone. So I hope this clarifies the DAC rules. It's very powerful. Okay, it's another security layer. You have two layers: the shared or the SMB shares rights and the NTFS rights, and third is the DAC rules, dynamic access control rules, and the more restrictive one will be the one in effect, as we see now. We can check the default programs. We will see that the VLC is there. I'm just checking. We see we have a group policy, as I said before, to define the default programs for every file type for the user. For example, all media files will be used by VLC and used by Google Chrome, and the browser will be for the Google Chrome. This is through the group policy. For example, if you have multiple programs and you need the user to use a specific, or to force the user to use a specific uh, program for all or for some file types, so this can be done through the group policy. This is also, if you refer to my previous videos, this when we were making the master image, we weren't able to make the default programs in the master user profile to be copied to the default Windows 10 profile through the devprof tool. Okay, so we make this group policy with the default programs, okay, to be pushed to the users, so we can unify the programs that will be used for every user to open every file type. So I think this lab is finished, or this video is finished. So until the next lab, we will begin configuring the Microsoft user virtualization experience. Until I see you in the next video, goodbye.